Welcome back. All right, so we're going to talk about Carter Hutton. Carter Hutton, who just announced his retirement yesterday, and it's an interesting career. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams played for. This will get added to the journeyman playlist. And he's an undrafted player, which very often journeymen can be. They can be undrafted, maybe guys drafted in later rounds, might end up being a bottom 2 defenseman, in this case, a backup goaltender for most of his career. And honestly carved out a pretty decent career for himself, according to Cap Friendly. Earned a little over $13 million in his career. Hopefully that's well invested, taken care of, and he and his wife and kids are going to be comfortable for a very long time. So what's interesting is, being undrafted, he was signed June 1st with San Jose as a free agent. This is after he had been signed briefly by the Philadelphia Flyers, where he was in their AHL pipeline. They didn't decide to keep him. San Jose signs him. He did not play for the San Jose Sharks. He ends up signing February 24th of 2012 as a free agent with the Chicago Blackhawks. Gets into one regular season game with the Blackhawks. He lost that game, .893 save percentage in that game, and doesn't end up playing in the playoffs. But he did end up being the backup at points, and he ended up getting a cup ring. So they got him a Stanley Cup ring. His name is not engraved on the Stanley Cup, as he did not qualify to have his name engraved on the Stanley Cup that year. But still, pretty fun ride, right? You play one game, you get yourself a ring. Kind of fun. 2013-2014, he ends up with another organization, because July 5th, he signed as a free agent by the Nashville Predators. Completely unexpected, completely out of nowhere. 2013-2014, he ends up playing 40 games. He played the most games of any goaltender in Nashville that year, because Pekka Rinne was out with a hip infection for part of that season. He ends up 20, 11, and 4 with a .910 save percentage. So very good game, very good record for him. Good stats for Carter Hutton, and plays more games than I think he would have expected, or anybody would have expected going into that year. So 2014, 2015, he's kept around by the Nashville Predators. 18 games, a 6, 7, and 4 record, .902 save percentage. So the numbers are decent, yet again. Less games played, because now you've got Rinne back, right? 2015-2016, plays 17 games again. 7, 5, and 4 record, .918 save percentage. Very good save percentage in the playoffs. He did get into 3 games in those playoffs. Played a grand total of 20 minutes and had a save percentage of .667. So he didn't play a lot, but he was in 3 playoff games, and those were the only playoff appearances he had in his career, such as the life of a backup goaltender. So coming out of that, he ends up going to the free agent market, where he ends up signing with the St. Louis Blues. July 1st, he signed as an unrestricted free agent, a 2-year deal at $1.25 million per season. So his first contract with Nashville was $550,000 for 1 year. His second contract in Nashville, 2 years at $725,000. So his money's going up. And he rewards St. Louis, playing 30 games, 13, 8, and 2 record, .913 save percentage. Then in a career year, also a contract year, 32 games played in 2017-2018, 17, 7, and 3 record, .931 save percentage. Yep, that is number 1 in the National Hockey League. And so, I mean, that generates some interest, right? You've got a goaltender making a little over $1 million. Save percentage of .931. Who comes calling? The Buffalo Sabres. Now, what's interesting is, looking through, and this is the, if you want to follow along, this is the 2018-2019 NHL yearbook, Hockey News version of. And so getting into the goaltending, this I thought was interesting, because, again, when Carter Hutton signed in Buffalo, there was some discussion about how much was expected of him. The Sabres didn't tender an offer to Robin Lehner after 3 seasons, instead signing former Blues backup Carter Hutton to a 3-year, $8.25 million deal, as explained right there. And Hutton will start regularly unless rookie Linus Ullmark can wrestle the job away. Hutton posted a .931 save percentage, the highest among goalies with 30 or more appearances, but the journeyman has never played more than 40 games in a season. Ullmark, an AHL standout, might be the goalie of the future. So there's a lot of reasons I'd be reading that, including the goalie of the future curse. It's a real thing. Teams, this is our goalie of the future, and then either he's traded, he doesn't make it, whatever happens, that's the goalie of the future curse. So Hutton comes into Buffalo with some expectations. Buffalo's been, pretty much mired at or near the bottom of the standings for a while. Now, it's a good start to the season. He ends up playing 50 games that year, 18, 25, and 5 record. The 25 regulation losses was third in the NHL that year. In that season, he ends up 18, 25, and 5 with a .908 save percentage. And honestly, was fine. Probably played a little bit more than he should have. But Buffalo, not a playoff team. Anyways, so yeah, he was seen as the ideal partner for Linus Ullmark. Worked out okay. 2019-2020, 31 games, 12, 14, and 4 record, .898 save percentage. Now, that 2019-2020 season, he actually had a team record 47 save shutout against the LA Kings in October of that season. So, a shutout, and he started off that season very well. So did the Buffalo Sabres, but his numbers start to tank. He went 0-8-4 in his next 12 decisions, and then they found that there was a vision problem that was maybe hampering his play. So, there was a reason why he was having problems seeing the puck. So, after that season, 2020-2021, he doesn't end up playing a lot. Plays 13 games for Buffalo. He was 1-10-1 with an .886 save percentage, which was the lowest of his career. So it is an unceremonious ending to his time with the Buffalo Sabres organization. And this season that we just finished, July 28th, he signed as a UFA, 1 year, league minimum, $750,000 contract. 3 games played in Arizona, 2 losses in regulation, .741 save percentage. Had a rough time of it, right? And then February 21st of 2022, he was actually traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs on the agreement that it wasn't going to destabilize his family. He wasn't going to have to uproot from Tucson or whatever. And so that's the agreement that's made. He eventually would go to the Toronto Marlies, but he didn't end up seeing any action with the Toronto Marlies either. So he's traded for future considerations, who gets traded a lot. 235 games he played in his career, a respectable record of 94, 90, and 27, and his save percentage of .908. Again, not bad. So a journeyman goaltender, not an overly long career, but an interesting one in that he bounced around the league a bit here and there, provided solid goaltending to the St. Louis Blues, and we can have the debate about whether or not he should have stayed there. The thing is that if he wanted $2.75 million per season, St. Louis wasn't going to give him that, so he ends up going to Buffalo. But yeah, pretty solid career, and I have nothing but respect for goaltenders that take their time to come through. Like he was, I think, 25 by the time he actually makes his debut in the National Hockey League. And so, you know, goaltenders, this is why when I see people writing off a goaltender who's drafted 2 years after they're drafted, I'm like, no, you can't write off a goaltender that quickly. It can take till their mid-20s before they peak. And so all the best to Carter Hutton in retirement. And there you go. Career of Carter Hutton. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. And I debated about whether or not to wear Buffalo or wear Nashville. I thought he had more success in Nashville than he did in Buffalo, so I went with Nashville. Although he did play more games in Buffalo than Nashville. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.